This is CNEagles.com. I'm Michael Watring along with head coach Tom Griffin after the Carson-Newman 13-1 loss to Young Harris. And coach, how would you sum this game up, your worst loss in about 2 years?
I didn't know it was our worst loss in 2 years. But how do you sum it up? Challenge. No question, it's just a challenge. We felt pretty good going into it. Clayton Eames, has thrown well for us midweek. I mean, he beat a good Lee University team. He has thrown well. But as we were talking earlier, command was an issue today. And falling behind the way we did certainly looked like now we got to play catch up. And it just didn't have a good vibe with it. Just didn't have a good vibe at the plate. And then it just seemed to snowball. And believe me, we're all, not feeling good about it. Be quite honest with you. But I'm going to tell you, Michael, again, I had a great talk with Mr. Ken Sparks today, and just in our talking, and it comes down to these are great challenges, and again, it's about faith, and I think we're going to be fine. I know we're going to be fine. Coaching staff, we roll up our sleeves and go to work. We don't let things go. So we're going to be fine. But we got to weather a storm right now, and it's a mental storm. It's not a fundamental. It's not a physical. I think it's a mental, and we've got to work through that. We spent time with our players after today's game talking about the mental side, I think that's clubs are going to go through that every part of the year. We're going through it now. We went through it last year. Every year we've gone through some sort of mental part where you got to get through it and fight through it. We have a player who's a transfer from a Division I school, and he was saying, hey, we went through the same thing. I said, what'd their coach do? And he says, well, it wasn't very legal, but I'm like, we're not going there. Mm-hmm. But we keep talking, keep working through it. Our chemistry is good. We believe our talent level is good. I don't think we've misevaluated those kids because of what they did the previous years. So keep battling.
You allow 16 hits here today. Do you ever get the sense, maybe from some of the bullpen guys, that they come in, try to be a little too perfect, rather than come in, understand the situation, and just say, I need to throw strikes?
It's a good point. You've watched a lot of baseball, Michael, and you're a pretty smart guy, and have seen that. And I think that happens. I also think there's a sense sometimes among a team, especially in the relievers coming in, of not pitching to their ability. Why? A lot of factors. That's part of it. But I think the guys that came in relief, Brandon Timmerman is got to be a sinker ball, low ball guy, missing up. Same thing with Josh Russell. And as you said, there was no command. There was no command today. Now, is that because the game is 6-0, 7-0? It shouldn't affect our thought process. When you're getting an opportunity to pitch, you got to be able to hit your spots. Coach Herring works on that every day. He's been doing it since day one. And we've seen those guys do it. Right now, it's just not happening. And some of the things that with our players, you talk about the mental part of it, and having that confidence and that swagger. And are they prepared? Do they have knowledge? And have they practiced? All three of those answers, no question about it. Each young man's got to look into himself and figure out, what do I have to do to take that on the mound and to the plate and to get back to playing the way they're capable of playing. There were some mistakes made today that were very uncharacteristic, from ground ball to first, and it was like a tentative throw. When, why was that tentative? Again, too much stress they're creating on themselves, because we feel as a coaching staff that we have not done that. But just to keep preparing them and keep saying that there's a new challenge that we have to face, and we're going to do it. There's no doubt. We're going to get through that because we've done it before.
Let me ask this final question in terms of offense. You guys do not seem to walk a whole lot when you lose. No walks today. In 12 losses this year, less than 20 walks in those 12 games. Do you think that your hitters may feel a little pressed? They feel like they need to get it all back with one swing rather than understanding getting on base is more valuable?
No question. And I think that's one of the things philosophically we've had to look at, because our strikeouts were so high that we felt like guys were being too tentative and getting into a 2-strike count way too early and then trying to battle. And some guys we've decided, hey, get the ball and play early. Just to feel for hard contact, let's get the ball early. Then hopefully you get pitched a little bit different when you see there's a little bit of aggressiveness early in the count. But I think overall, we've not done a good job in our pitch selection, and that's why our strikeout to walk ratio has been where it has been. So it goes back to having a plan when you get to the box. What is the situation at that time? Because everybody's plan is going to change, dictated by what's going on in the game at that time. And so it's back to having a plan. And we've talked about, again, what's our mindset? We're working on some things prior to getting into the box as far as our thinking goes, the things we're doing in practice to work on pitch selection and doing a better job, like you say, to increase our walks, to fight off more pitches. But we had to change that a little bit because early in the year we had so many strikeouts. We were like, let's get some balls put in play early and see what happens from that.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you.
Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, the Eagles will be back in action against Maryville. We'll be on the air at 1:50. For head coach Tom Griffin, I'm Michael Watring.